r/confessions. I made my brother think he has alopecia for the last 15 years. This is probably the pettiest thing I have ever done, and I regret it to this day. When I was 15 years old, I got my first job and started to have some money of my own. I used my money to spoil myself and purchase nicer things like clothes, shoes, makeup and salon brand shampoo. My brother used to sneak into my bathroom and constantly steal my nice shampoo. He would use them and most of the time he would leave them open in the bathtub. This would result in the rest of the shampoo going down the drain and leave me with empty containers. This drove me completely insane and I hated him for taking my things. I tried to speak with my parents about this, but they told me that I should just learn to share. One day I went out and purchased hair removal cream. I mixed this into my shampoo bottle and left it in my bathroom. I gave him a verbal warning not to use my newly purchased bottle, but he stole it again anyway. Over the next few days his hair slowly started to fall out and small bald patches started to appear. Seeing what I had done, I immediately emptied the remaining shampoo. I felt terrible and I truly didn't think it would have as a dramatic effect as it did. My mother took him to the doctor to get checked out and they diagnosed him with alopecia. He then had to start using this special and terrible smelling shampoo to combat this. His hair did grow back, but I just recently found out that he is still using the shampoo in order to prevent another alopecia flare up. It has been 15 years now and I have never told my brother that I caused him to lose his hair. Edit. Some people are asking why I let this go on for 15 years. I honestly had no idea that he was still using the shampoo and just assumed he stopped at some point or that the doctor had told him he didn't have alopecia. I just helped him move over the weekend and found a fresh bottle of the shampoo in his bathroom. I completely forgot about this until now. Edit 2. He lived in the basement in the mother-in-law suite, so it did take a lot of effort for him to come in my second floor private bathroom to steal my shampoo and conditioner. Not trying to defend my poor decision, but he didn't just happen to use it by mistake. I didn't just leave my things lying around. LOL, he has probably given other alopecia sufferers lots of false hope over the years, telling them how great that special shampoo worked for him. This is the funniest thing. Pretty bold advice. If my sister did this to me, I'd find it pretty funny, but I'd want to know so that I stop blowing money on expensive shampoo and stop worrying about losing my hair. And just when he stops, male pattern baldness hits him. If only he had kept using the shampoo. Remember how annoyed I was when you used to steal my shampoo right around the time you got diagnosed with alopecia? Is what you would say if you wanted to spice up your life. When I was a server, I threw a customer's phone into a trash compactor. I had just started serving tables at a restaurant, and I was working my first super busy brunch shift. I had 6+ tables and I'm not gonna lie, I had a tough time running all the mimosas that my tables were ordering. I could tell that one table of all women were getting abnormally angry about their drinks taking a while. I apologized for the delay and made a joke about it being an especially busy shift. I offered them a round of drinks on me to smooth the situation over. When I walked away, one lady murmured under her breath that I was an incompetent dunt. Let's stop there. It's common for people to treat servers like shit, but this was the first time I ever had experience being spoken to like I was garbage. I shook it off and continued to be nice to them, but it only got worse from there. They started to laugh at me and shit talk me to one another. They told me that my future career looked pretty bleak, considering I couldn't even serve tables. Honey, even a toddler can deliver drinks. When I took their order for food, one woman refused to speak to me. She just stared at me while her friend ordered for her. By now I am pissed. I asked her why she felt the need to have her friend order for her. She laughed in my face, looked down at the menu, and said because I was a dumb little bitch. Due to the fact I was at work, I couldn't argue or tell her to eat shit for treating me like I was a dog. If I did, my boss would have fired me. They ended up stiffing me on their $200 check. Once they left, I realized the woman that gave me so much shit had left her phone. I took it and went out the back door to smoke a cigarette and try to calm down. Who the hell did that woman think she is? So I promptly turned off her phone, threw it in the trash compactor, and turned it on. She came back minutes later and asked multiple staff members if we found it. I told her that I didn't see it when I bussed the table, and that I would call her if it turned up. I never told anyone, but I never regretted doing it. When you treat people like shit, expect shitty things to happen to you. Edit number 1. Thanks for my first ever metal kind stranger. Edit number 2. I should have clarified that they stiffed me, as in they didn't tip me. They did pay their bill before they bounced. Lastly, I've been in the service industry for a hot minute and I've only experienced this level of disrespect twice. Whether you believe it or not, some people actually think they have the right to talk to servers like this, and many restaurants jaff. I would have done the same exact thing. If they ended up stiffing you, they probably were planning on acting like that from the start regardless of your service quality. Exactly, these types of entitled a-holes know what game they want to play. Hid my boss's car keys and he had to buy new ones, and he smashed his window thinking his keys were in there. So I was 17 and my boss wrote me up for being 2 minutes late. He was a super cool guy, but his boss got on him about how much money the company is making, so my boss got all in the "I'm going to change this company around" mood and started to be a prick. And wrote me up because I was the youngest and most chill person there, so I was upset he wrote me up. And he left his keys on the desk. I took them and threw them on top of the roof, and he took all day looking for them. And I even helped him look for the keys. Most chill person equals throwing keys on a roof after being upset. Leslie, stay, please. You can't be alone on Valentine's. I'm gonna go home and watch TV. Leslie, okay, well, can you just do me a favor and give me your car keys for a second? There's something I need to look at on your car keys. You're gonna throw them on the roof again, aren't you? So I can't leave. Leslie, you know me too well. You're the best. Something tells me there is a bit more to this story based on how you are describing yourself. Yup, I'd be willing to bet OP wasn't a stellar, perfect employee before being late that one time. 2 minutes late is still late, but most bosses aren't going to write you up for that if you're on point most of the time. There's definitely more to the story here, and OP probably doesn't even know BC. He's blissfully unaware of how unprofessional and ouchy he comes off. So he's probably the same at work. When I was a kid, I would wipe my ass with towels that were hanging up. This is something I've never admitted to a single person. I'm not sure at what age I stopped doing this, but throughout most of my childhood I had this OCD compulsion where every time I would finish wiping I would stand up, walk over to the towel rack and give it 1 or 2 more thorough swipes. I couldn't not do it. I felt unclean if I didn't. It wasn't until I got a little older that I realized just how ducked up it was. My older siblings spent their entire childhoods drying their faces off with my shitty remains. I've been mortified about it for years, but I'm actually in tears of laughter writing this out right now. Edit. Nobody was supposed to see this. Why does everyone in this house keep getting pink eye? Hahaha, now that you mention it. Just please tell me your name isn't Josh. No, but that's my a-hole cousin's name and I would be honored for you to hate him. Duck that guy. You monster. How can I ever trust towels again after reading this? Have an upvote. You can't. I'm still an a-hole at times when it comes to towels. For instance, I don't have a washing machine in my app, so a few months ago my mom came down south and spent a few nights. About a week later a friend of mine came out for the weekend. So, naturally, I folded up my mom's used towel and put it on the top of the pile for him to grab. I ducking suck. I stole and used my college roommate's fleshlight, then threw it out. It wasn't a real fleshlight, just a knockoff that looked like a mouth wearing bright red lipstick. He said he bought it as a joke and wasn't actually going to use it. One night we went out to a party. At the end of the night my roommate left with a girl and I went home alone. I was pretty drunk and horny, remembered his knockoff fleshlight, and thought borrowing it would be a great idea. I could use it, then clean and return it and he'd have no idea. I grabbed it, lubed up and went to town. It actually felt quite nice. Shortly after finishing, but before I had a chance to clean things up, I hear the front door opening. Roommate had come home early. I panicked and needed to get rid of the evidence as soon as possible. So I opened the window and threw the sex toy out. It landed in the center of our dorm's quad, grassy area where students sit, play frisbee, etc. And that was that. The next day I went outside to look for it, but it was already gone. Roommate asked me if I'd seen it a few days later, but I just played dumb. Don't think he ever found out what happened because I've never told anyone. He knew you took it. Mr. Logic has spoken. Ah yes, he never cared about it and it was just a joke, but he was looking for it just a few days later. You're naive if you think he doesn't know what happened. You're the only other person who lived in the room. Nobody could have taken it and used it but you. He definitely used it too. Some other desperate soul is now using it. The Brotherhood of the Traveling Fleshlight. Somebody call Pixar. Toy Story 5. Bro, you made it to the end? You're a ducking mad lad. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content. It's free and that's a great price.